Stock tip. Best stock setups.
Hi and welcome to the latest episode of Stock Tip Daily Update with me, Marcel Todia. So another day, another distribution day here on Wall Street. As you can see, the SPY ended pretty much on a negative note with minus 1.77%, and the Nasdaq did actually worse with minus 2.56%, and also finishing below the last support line here at 334.5, I think. So overall, the market seemed to have resumed their negative trend. Indeed, this last candle is pretty big, a pretty big one. So perhaps an exhausted bar, but I, for one, and it's only my opinion, but I for one believe the market is going to reach at least 400, if not 370 here in the SPY, respectively 4,000 or 3,700 here in the S&P 500. So that's my opinion. That's based on my analysis, but I could be wrong. One of the one of the possibilities is that the SPY could turn anytime soon and do a small bounce here, and then resume its journey south to the next level. So this is just a possibility. I think, for one, that the SPY is going to resume its downtrend, but it pretty much doesn't matter what I think. It only matters what the market is actually going to do, and for that we have to wait patiently for the next day. So how did the IVM do? The IVM also pretty much tanked today with minus 1.87%, and DAX also falling below yesterday's div, and with that we have the most bearish of signals possible here. So bearish engulfing. So pretty much catastrophic if you look at it carefully. Euro to US dollar isn't, though it's working. So also a small negative day here. We are pretty much in this range here. We haven't left this range, this sideways range right here. Like this, so we haven't left this range now, but the moving averages are starting to turn south, to be heading south, and this might mean that the euro to US dollar is going to resume its downwards trend. We shall wait and see what happens. For the time being, my portfolio is in the amount invested US dollar, and the cash position is still the euro. Oil also tried to win some terrain here, but in the end it pretty much held at yesterday's level. So pretty much, not exactly, but pretty much. I think the trend would be a bounce back up, but so that's what the market thinks, at least. But I really expect it to keep falling here, and actually that's what I'm betting on, with my stop being here. Gold also with a nice positive day, a nice addition to our profits here, and I hope gold is still going to rake some profits for me, and I think the first target would be 195. So this looks like a long-term breakout, and that's why I think it's safe to leave the position running for the time being. Silver isn't doing that good as gold is, but it still made a nice impression today with a most positive of candles here. You see, we ended the day on the, I think, dead high here. So and also with above average volume here. So what more do you want from this title? So overall, the markets are going down, and safe havens like gold and silver are starting to look interesting for investors, and everybody's turning to this papers now. This is an ETF for me, or a trust, but I think pretty much big investors are starting to look for opportunities to buy. So you see here also this huge volume, and after that the volume still spiked. It's not that bad actually. I think corrections here in the markets is a good thing, and it allows us to make some quick cash and then to buy at a discount. And if the next rally is going to come like this one, so take a look at this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. In 7 days we were back at our all-time high here in 7 days time, so 1.5 weeks. So that would make for a huge amount of profit, and in a short term. So this was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So if you count this one, let's only count the 6 of them. So this would make for 4% value in just a week, in just 6 days. So this is something nice. And here the move is not that different. And in 2018 and 18, let me see it. I can see it. No, I believe the program is a bit too slow for that. It doesn't really matter. So there you have it. 2018. We had a couple more days here, but pretty much in 1 month we managed to add 12% in 1 month. So if the market is going to tumble, then there's no reason to panic, because after the tumble, then usually there comes a very healthy rally, and that's the point where you want to have your cash on hand and be long. And that's our strategy at the time. Try to remain mostly cash, and if you must, then a couple of shorts here and there on an index or on some papers, but overall try to maintain your cash position just to be ready for the next rally. And when the next rally comes, I will inform you, but I think you'll also see it. Now to the second part of our video, the stock tip portfolio here, or my portfolio. So Amazon is heading south and is doing really well. So I've already made something more than 200% on my risk, but I'm not that willing to close this position. My portfolio being not that big at the moment. I only started with 20,000 in January or late December. I couldn't afford more than in one position, so that will give me no option but either to close it all out or leave it going. And I think I'm going to leave it a couple more days going until we reach this target, or who knows, depending on how the market is doing, then perhaps 1 or 2 days longer. But this would be my first target here, 2,700. Then BioNTech. BioNTech is an addition from yesterday, and today it's pretty much blasted. So you see almost minus 6% in 1 day. This is gold for me, just gold for me. And the only thing I regret is not being able to buy the position that I intended to today because of my ski vacation, as you know it. But I have to remain happy with the positions that I have, and all of these are running really well at the moment. So I have to look at the positive. So one of the positions was Ash. I got closed yesterday, and I wanted to buy it to short it today and look at this opportunity. This would have been a perfect opportunity, but I wasn't at the desk, and Ash managed minus 1.53, and as I've told you in yesterday's daily update, I think a very probable target would be here, so this would have made for a huge amount of profit. But that's how it is. If you aren't able to be at your desk at so 24 hours a day, then you will miss out on one or two things. That's how it is. Just don't have to lament over it. Just close your eyes and go further. Bros, so Dutch Bros Inc. Also, one of our positions here, one of the shorts. I don't remember precisely where my stop is. My stop could be at 54.5 or a tick lower at 56. I don't remember exactly, but today was another awesome day with minus 6.6%. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Ford, also a title I've added yesterday to this portfolio, and pretty much the stock tips. So stock tips setup of the week, no less. Also added some profits to our portfolio today with minus 2%. So the short is starting to pay off, and I'm curious to exactly how further this title is going to go. I believe for one, I don't know, it may just be that we've reached a small inflection point, but I don't think this is the main target. I think Ford might just tank some more before finding its footing. So if you take a look at it in the weekly chart, then we are still a couple of dollars away from our 50 moving average at 16.3, and way behind the 200 moving line at approximately 12. So we could still have a nice way to go. We shall see tomorrow. So gold, we've already talked about gold. We shall take a look at it in the weekly chart. Gold is performing very nicely and keeps adding to our profits. The target will be 195, and I think my stop remains here for the time being. IVM also nice addition to the profits. The initial entry was approximately here somewhere, and now we are heading down, and we're heading down pretty quickly. Let's just see what would be the next target. So one target would be this one. I agree with you, but if you make a calculated move here, so a measured move, I think we are right to assume we might hit 175 or so. So yeah, so now it's position, and let's keep it going as long as it is. Oil, already talked about this, so the stop remains here, and I hope we will reach this point here. I'm not that convinced, considering the whole Ukraine-Russia war play thing or whatever they are doing out there. Then Twitter slowed down a bit today, still added a couple of percentages, so 0.5%, but pretty much slowed down. I was actually hoping to reach 32 today and to be able to take some profits. It wasn't meant to be, but I hope we will reach it. We'll reach it tomorrow, because I'm really eager to get some profits here out of Twitter. We've fallen pretty vertical, pretty parabolical, and I would like to close in on some profits here. So that's pretty much all for the first two parts of our video. If you liked this so far, then remember to like and subscribe. And if you do have any questions, then leave them in the comment section below. And then I would like to recommend you to take a look at our site, stock-tip.com. For example, Ford was this week's setup. It was listed or it was posted under the respective title, and I think just like a Ford, you might find many other interesting trading ideas. And if you do decide to subscribe to stock-tip.com, you will also find our scan list full of every candidate here, every trade, long, short candidate, which could bring in the next big profit. Okay, so the third part of our video